Hello guys, and welcome back to the second texture pack review. And if you're wondering, yes, I'm a Steve skin right now, and it is annoying me, but my internet is being annoying, and it is obviously not going to be permanent. I think it's because the Minecraft servers are down at the moment. I think that's what it said on the website. So I think all the skin servers are also down. So we got Steve skin temporarily. Anyway, despite that, we are back today with a new texture pack. And this texture pack was suggested by Jake Ward here, and it is called Faithful. Now, I bet many of you have heard of this because I know it's a very popular texture pack. That was a lot of varies. I'm not sure how many. Anyway, yeah, it's a very popular texture pack. Because I see a lot of YouTube videos people using this. So let's get on with reviewing it then. These are all the woods first of all, and I like these. I really like this wood. I really like these woods. What I think this texture pack is, it obviously is. It's basically a HD touched up version of the default Minecraft textures, but just, like I said, touched up and increased resolution per block. I think it's a 32 times 32, or is it 64 times 64? Let's count. Joking, only joking. But it's like, yeah, it's like basically more HD on each block. So it's got it's kind of got like this quite nice barky effect to all the logs, which I think the original was missing, as it was all straight lines. Now it's curved and like little things like that. And then the jungle, of course, and the birch are separate, different from that, and the dark oak and the acacia. And all the planks, they're very similar to the default planks, but they just they're a bit more smooth. They look nicer. So yeah. Moving on to the trees. The trees look very similar to the base game. The leaves have been modified quite a bit. The saplings, oh my god, they're so similar, but they're so they're so like different. I love these saplings. The spruce trees are very nice. The leaves have been, I think out of all of these, this is one that's changed the leaves the most. These leaves do look very different, and the sapling is really nice, very HD. And I like the bark. I really do like these trees. And the birch tree, of course. It just looks a bit more formal in my opinion. There's this birch log. It looks very like columny sort of thing. I like this birch log. I don't know whether I like it more or less. It depends. It looks better in this texture pack, I'm saying. And that birch tree sapling is amazing too. The jungle, I'd say, is very similar to the thing. Very similar to the original, although these leaves have been touched upon very greatly, and this sapling looks very similar, just like more pixels that you can obviously see. And this log is quite nice. This log is nice too. And you got the acacia trees, which aren't too different from the original. I mean, you can see how the bark and the thing is more smooth, and the sapling has not been changed. Now, I really don't like it on texture packs where they don't change the saplings, but they don't change like something, but I can't judge them. It looks okay, actually. It looks fine. And then you got the dark oak, although I really hope. I mean, it's not as bad as the other texture pack we did with Bluebird, where they missed out an entire set of items. That's annoying. Now we've got I mean, I think these two saplings haven't been changed because they're very new, but we also have this dark oak, which is really quite nice, and then we have this leaves, which are very similar to the oak leaves. Yeah, I think quite good for the trees, apart from those two saplings, but that's alright. God's arm is so annoying, because it's a stupid Steve arm. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, well, the stone is very similar, quite smooth, quite more like, almost like jaggedy, quite rough, quite nice edge to this thing, the stone. The cobblestone, I really like the cobblestone. It's very, it's like a less gritty version of the original cobblestone, and you can see yourself building something out of this cobblestone that makes it look professional and nice, rather than just like almost like the gritty cobblestone that we already had. The bedrock, quite similar. Like, I think they've really increased the colour of the grey here, and it stands out more, and especially the black, because black does stand out a lot. And then you got the dirt, which has got bits of grey in it now, quite a bit of like small stones inside the dirt, which I think is quite nice. And I think they should have added that into it, because dirt isn't always just dirt, really. Podzol, I do like the Podzol. The Podzol does look quite mossy, quite natural, a bit more natural than the one before. And this mushroom biome is basically the normal pink sand with the little veins of purple. That's still fine, and I still like that one. The sand, it's like really cool how all the little pixels are so small and touching a different, almost touching a different color pixel, which makes it stand out quite a lot. Quite nice sand, you know, very similar but really quite nice. This gravel, the gravel is less like the original gravel and more like cobblestone. It looks like, yeah, because you can obviously identify pieces of flint in this gravel, as you can see, like little darker bits, and it does look quite nice. I do prefer this gravel, much prefer this gravel to the original gravel. And you can see, like, I do like this one. I just like this texture pack makes it look almost like a bit more smooth, and in places jagged, and it's just nice. Then you got the red sand, which is just like normal sand but changed. I mean, yeah. The coal and the iron and the see what they've done now is the coal, the iron, the gold, then the redstone, and the diamond. All of their ores are the same, just different colours. But the emeralds and the lapis are different. That's exactly like the same as the base texture pack, but I like it and it looks good. And they haven't changed the blocks too much. They've just, you know, increased the resolution and made it look. They really haven't changed it that much at all, have they? I wouldn't notice much difference to any of these. That is like, I mean, they have changed it, but that is kind of a problem in my opinion, and they should get that fixed. They should, or not fixed. It's not even a problem. This is my opinion. I think it would have been nicer if they'd have changed it slightly. But they still look okay, and they do match the rest of the texture pack, so it's fine. But that's both an opinion. I would have changed the blocks a bit more, but I think it looks okay actually. Yeah, it's fine. Then you got the sponge. The sponge is quite nice. The sponge has been changed from the default sponge. I can't remember exactly what the default sponge looks like, but I know this is much different to that. So yeah, the default sponge looks this sponge looks quite nice, I guess. For a block that's hardly ever used, it doesn't need to look great. Although 1.8 now it's got a purpose. The glass is very similar to the normal, but now these little lines are thinner because they're only 1 pixel, or they're only they're basically equivalent to the normal. They're a half a pixel, so you can see more through the glass now, which I like a bit more. And this glass looks a bit more stylish and modern. Now then, we've got the sandstone. This sandstone is quite nice. It's like the original sandstone, but a bit more. Like I said, it's increased the resolution and got like a bit more smooth and stuff. The smooth sandstone is quite nice. I like these little like almost lit up areas where it's slightly like brighter than the other areas. And then you've got the chiseled sandstone, which of course are just the hieroglyphics again. I want to see a texture pack that changes how the chiseled sandstone looks, because it's always hieroglyphics. I'm not sure if that's just like a thing that I'm not aware of, but I'm not sure if it's just, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen one that has changed the hieroglyphics into like other stuff. Now then we've got all the wool, and the wool is very wavy, and this is one of the blocks that's been changed quite a lot from the original. I do like this though. It would be quite nice to have like a carpet that's all like wavy. It looks quite more realistic. It's slightly more realistic. Of course, the stained glass is just the coloured glasses, and this hard clay. It's like almost you can't. There's like little bits that you notice, but you can't notice that much, and it would make a very nice colour. And I do think these hard clays almost suit the things a little bit more than the other ones, although they still haven't got the proper matching colours yet. Whereas the dark grey, one thing I don't like about the default stained clay and the stained clay in general is that basically dark grey wool is actually darker than black wool, black stained clay. It's confusing. These bricks have been changed a lot. They look much more realistic and modern. I really do like these more. Sorry, I really do like these bricks more. I do. Yeah, I really do. This is just quite cool, and it's very like nice and formal and slim. And then you got, as it's only 1 pixel for the little cement bits in between, it makes it so you can see more brick. I do like this. The bookshelves, they now have a rotated book, 2 rotated books on each shelf, which I think is quite nice. And of course it's thin around the edges, and because they've made such a because they've upped the resolution of this, you get to thin down the edges of all the blocks so that you get more stuff in the middles, which I do like. The bookshelves look quite nice. Then you've got the mossy cobblestone, which is quite cool actually. It's basically the cobblestone, but like very like almost like dripping with some sort of green goo, or vines or mossy, and it's very mossy. I do like this one more. I do like this cobblestone and the mossy cobblestone more than the default Minecraft, which is what you're aiming for really with the texture pack, is to make the game look different to default and better in your opinion. So I like this, yeah. The obsidian's quite nice too. They're quite similar. Yeah, and this texture pack is one of the ones that has all the blocks very similar to the base game, meaning if you're playing this in survival, you won't get confused with what you're using. The obsidian's nice, yes. Now then we've got ice, packed ice, and then snow. The ice is quite nice, as I said again. The little lines, like I'm saying on the glass, are only a pixel thin, so more space to look through. And then the packed ice, of course, is nice, almost like dark in the middle, which isn't the same as the base game. The snow is quite cool. It's using the same effect as some of the other blocks, with like the cutting, sort of jaggedy parts of it. The stained clay, just normal clay, not stained. It's quite nice, I guess, you know. And then you got the normal clay here, because when you smelt this, it turns into bricks, so when you smelt it, it should turn into bricky sort of coloury clay. This is quite nice, a little effect, little like lighter bits in the middle, which is quite nice. Then we have the pumpkins, and yeah, the pumpkins look quite nice. I like how they've that looks like a coal in my opinion, but you know, I like how they've reshaped the eyes and stuff, so it's different, like different shapes, because they have more room to do that with. And then you've got the lit up version, which jack-o'-lantern, which is quite nice too, you know, the light coming out. They changed the tops as well. The melon's very similar, more high definition, more increased definition within the different little bits where it bends almost. I'm not sure what the effect was, but it does look good. I do like these. Now I've got the nether parts, and the soul sand is really cool, because it's like it's less. I think the original Minecraft is like 5 or 6 phases, so it only has 3 on one side. The netherrack is so cool. It's like cobblestone. It's red. It's dripping with blood almost. I do like this. I do like this. Although it could be with the blood. In my opinion, I'd make this red blood sort of stuff blend more with the background, because it does. The blood does stand out a lot. Or I'm calling it blood. Probably isn't blood. That's just my interpretation. The glowstone is nice. It's more like it's a lot like the gravel with all like the shapes. It's quite cool. I like it though. It's nice. Then we have the nether bricks, which is, you know, as I said, the lines are thinner now, so you've got more room to work with, so you can get more definition with each brick. And then you've got the nether quartz, which I like. I do like this nether quartz. It's like longer shards now, and it's still dripping with blood. It fits in more with the other one, which I like. Then we have the stone brick set. So the stone bricks are very similar and like, you know, lighter, but they've still kept the too thick, or the almost one thick pixel in the middle. I don't know why they didn't dumb that down to a smaller size, but they didn't, and it looks okay. It looks fine. Then you got the cracked, and the cracks are quite easy to notice and work well in a long strip, which is what I like. Just, you know, if you're going to build with a material, you're going to want to build a long strip with that material, so you want to make sure it looks good next to another. So it does. And then you've got the mossy cobblestone, which are not mossy stone bricks, which are nice as well. And that the moss is very thin, and it blends in from one to the next, which very well, and I think that's good. And the moss is quite it stands out quite a lot and blends in at the same time. Then you got the chiseled, which is very, very similar to the base game, but just a little more just a little more definition around bits with with the greys. Now this quartz, I wouldn't notice a difference between the default and this texture pack with this quartz. I honestly wouldn't. I don't know if that was intended to look so similar. And this chisel quartz, it is still the same. It's practically the same. It's not the same quartz. I mean, it's 32 pixels, but in my opinion, it is. It looks so much similar to the same. This chiseled is different. The little lines are different. The pillar quartz, that one's different. But these two are so similar to default. They still fit in with the rest of the texture pack, but I just personally like everything to be different. But some of you might not, and it looks okay. But it would have been better if it changed it. In my opinion, it would have been better if they changed it so that it looked like the actual game. And I am reviewing this. I'm not just saying about how great it is. I'm saying about some things it could have been improved with. Cars drive. I live in the middle of a forest, and yet I still get the loud noises of the cars driving outside my house every now and again. Not very often. Now you've got the stone bricks, stone little slabs, which look very similar, but they look quite nice. You know, as I said, smooth, almost like rough texture of it, which is quite nice. The sandstone, very nice, and all of these, you know, the same as before, the same as the blocks we've already seen. I do like how they look. This cobweb, this is one of the blocks that's been very, very much changed. Oh, that's not very good grammar. It's been changed quite greatly, and it's more circular now. You know, like circular and like a more of an intricate pattern with the thing, with the design, which I like. This is the grass block, you know, the stony dirt with the grass block, and yeah, it looks cool. And you got the grass and the fern. The grass and the fern look very similar, look very similar to the normal game. Although last texture pack they did change the fern so it looked like a little bush. Oh, okay. 3 seconds before changeover. I'll see you guys in a second. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Just 15 minutes timer on my recording, so I had to just get changeover. Anyway, yeah. The fern in this texture pack looks a lot like the original fern, and last texture pack the fern looked more like a small little bush. That was the bluebird texture pack. But then the texture pack there was much more cartoony than this one. So this fern looks nice. It does fit in with the original because this whole texture pack is meant to look original, where it's look like meant to look like the default texture pack. And of course, it's all grass, just normal as it is. Okay, we have the dead bush, and the dead bush looks very similar. As I said, just increased the definition of it on the really quite cool fan with the little pixels everywhere. The little yellow flower, this has changed a lot. It's no longer like the weird little lines. It's now like more formal, more it hasn't got like big chunks missing. It's just quite nice. And you got the poppy, which is very similar, but very much a little more red. Really quite nice. The blue azul thing. These flowers are really nice. They're very similar, but that doesn't matter. That helps you identify them actually, and they really do look fine because they've kept the original design there, and the mushrooms look fine too. Well, they have changed a little bit to the mushrooms as well. Then you have the brown mushroom, which looks very similar to the base game. These little lines are the colour lines are quite cool. The top mushroom box is quite cool. I do like the mushrooms. They look quite similar. In my opinion, they're better than the other mushrooms in the bluebird texture pack because those didn't look very good at all. No offense to the bluebird texture pack. The torch is quite similar, although there's like quite almost like a burnt bit down here, which I like because it's a burning torch. The chest is like very similar, but it looks like it's been like worn out on the sides and like scraped down. Quite a rough edge, which I think is quite nice. The crafting table is just really high definition for what it is, and like I said, because it's only have to 1 pixel for the outlines now, you've got more room for other stuff on the inside. So this one looks really nice too. You've got the furnace, which I like. I like how they've changed the fire thing too. The furnace is quite nice, with a little hole there and hole there. It's fine. I don't know. Yeah, it looks quite nice. It looks, like they said, lines are only 1 pixel thin, and you can have more detail. And this has got quite a lot of detail in the jukebox. Each one of these is now 1 pixel thin now, or like half a pixel in equivalent. So you can fill the whole side with them. There's so many there. The ender chest, very similar. All these are really similar, which is I think this whole texture pack pretty much is just a similar texture pack to default, but like a little bit more high definition, quite nice smooth edges and stuff. And I think they really accomplished that. You got the enchantment table, which is nice. Very similar again. The anvil. Everything's like really. It's like you can notice so many similarities between them, especially with how and they repeated this pattern again. This weird. It's not weird. It's quite nice actually. Little light / darky sort of thing. And they've done it on lots of things, but it's just it's quite like worn in, so you don't realise it. You got the trap chest. The only difference is a little bit of red around the end. Okay, you've got the iron bars. You've got the fence post and the nether fence. Very similar to the base game. Not really much differences. Looks like the blocks. The vines are quite nice as well. As I said, intricate patterns because of the less definition between pixels. The cocoa bean pods are nice, and the jungle wood looks pretty much the same as default. And the rest of these flowers look very similar, like ridiculously similar, but very more definition. That's what I like about this mod. So mod texture for resource pack. So yeah, everything's very similar. Have they done this paint? I don't think they've changed any of these paintings. Oh, they have changed these paintings, sorry. Some of these paintings, they've increased, like, the quality of the pictures. Like that one. They've increased the quality. Even they've increased the quality of the creeper head because of the increased quality of the texture pack. That's quite nice. They've actually changed some of the paintings. You've got the nice fine bed with the nice fine wood, and then you've got the cool plant pot next to it, which looks very similar, but it looks fine. You got the heads. The wither head is quite cool actually, with like the little lines and stuff. The skeleton head. the zombie head and the player head and the creeper head. The player and the creeper look kind of different to the original, but not that much. You got the cactus, which is very similar, a bit more, as I said, a bit more increased definition. And I'm going to keep saying this because it's true, but, you know, that's it. And then the redstone trail, which is quite similar, again, quite nice, quite fine. Then you got the dispenser, which is quite nice and fine, not so much rough and smooth like the cobbly bit here. Same as the cobbly bit of these ones and this one. The TNT is very similar. The note block, ridiculous amount of those note things. Ridiculous, yeah, amount of those notes. And then you got the disc dropper, the hopper, back to the dropper and the redstone lamp. The doors then, the lever. And then you got all these different pressure plates, which look pretty much the same. And these two look very similar as well, because the blocks, the gem blocks, look very similar to the original blocks. You got the daylight sensor, which is kind of original again, kind of similar again. Yep, these are all fine. Then you got the comparator and the repeater, which look very similar. Yeah, see, everything looks really similar, especially and the beacon looks really good too. Now, I like this. The water looks very similar, so does the lily pad. But the lava's changed a bit. It's less like magma-y and like flowy. Well, it is actually increased. Actually, it's more bubbly now. It looks like it's quite cool. You got the rails and the minecart, which you wouldn't notice much difference from. Because oh, yeah, they have been changed, but you wouldn't notice much of a difference between them. But that's not a bad thing, I guess. Right, now you've got all the little. Oh, sorry. Now we've got all the mobs to go over for picking everything. But I'm really quickly going to build one more, because I think I missed this one out last time. It's another peaceful one that I can put on. The reason I don't put any hostile in is because I have to have it on normal, and then all the slimes will appear. This is the one I wanted to put down, so wait a second, let me just quickly, sorry. Alright, actually I'm going to pause and then come back when I finish this, okay, see you guys in a sec. And we're back, guys. Sorry, I just want to add a villager so you can see what they look like in this texture pack. So, of course, like the sheep, and the pig, and the cow, and the mushroom, they all look very, very similar to the base game, and they look a little more definition, like on the features of the animals and the villagers, exactly much the same. And so the wolf, angry wolf, but oh, I like the way the eyes are falling. They've changed. The ocelot trying to run away again. Still very gritty. I think that's the same with the default one. In my opinion, I don't know why the little black dots are there. And then you got the chicken. Alright, anyway, moving swiftly on to the items of this texture pack. So, with the saddle and the carrot, like all these like miscellaneous items, so and like transportation and stuff. Shut up, with animals. So yeah, all of these items, you know, they look very close to the original game. Just a little bit more, well, increased resolution. Quite like a bit more features on the like stuff at the end, probably Eye of Ender. I like all of these, and especially what's good about this texture pack is that it makes your game look much finer, and also allows you to know exactly what you're doing if you come back on this from a different time. The reason I only put these two music lists down is because I put a very, very common one you're going to find in dungeons and the broken one to see what the broken one looks like, because it's a different form to the other ones. And you got the apple, and you got all the foods, which again look quite cool to the base. It's quite similar to the base game. Oh, what did I get rid of? One of the potatoes. Which one? Debate. Okay. One thing I would say though was this spider's eye looks quite cool as well. It doesn't look similar, and perhaps if you're playing Minecraft and you want to have that's an amazing texture. I really like that texture, and the pumpkin pie one. These foods are really well done in my opinion. Really well done. And so that cake. If you like texture packs that don't change the game too much and allow you to know what you're doing, definitely get this one. Yeah, it's been really great so far. And then you've got all the tools. So yeah, the tools are really similar to the normal tools, just a little bit more finer with how they look, which I like. It's fine. They look really good. Really, really good tools. Really, really good foods as well. A little better. And these miscellaneous items are really good too. They've done an amazing job with this texture pack. The compass and the clock work really well. The flint and steel looks really cool, especially how that's like a cut, it's like C almost. Sharp edges, and you got the fishing rod, the shears, the name tag on the lead. That will look nice as well. I like these shears, how they've changed the middle bit slightly to make it look quite nice. Then you've got all the armor sets, and the armor sets look nice too. They've had like little holes here, made it look a bit more realistic. It looks really good as well. And you got all the sword, the bow, and the arrow. I think this looks really good, in my opinion, personally. Sorry, it's gonna pause. Sorry about that. Yep, my mum was just wondering who I was talking to, but then I told her I was recording. Anyway, right. So continuing on, yeah, the bow and arrow look quite nice, like very fine because of this resolution again. And you got all the brewing ingredients. That blaze powder is quite cool. I really like that blaze powder. That's really nice. Brewing stone and the cauldron look quite the same again. And you got the Gars Tear, the fermented spider eye, the magma cream, and the glistening melon. They all look really good. Then we have all the miscellaneous. Then we have all the misc items. So you got like the coal and the charcoal look really cool. The diamonds and the emeralds. The diamond looks more fatter and more shining. Iron. They all look very, very similar to the base game. So you definitely know which one you're having. The sticks and the blaze rods look nice. The gunpowder, the glowstone look cool. You got the netherwort, cocoa beans, sugarcane, seeds look nice. Here's what everything looks like when they're growing. So you got the full grown wheat, very similar to the base game. You got these little stalks, very similar to the base game. And then you got the mushrooms and the melons. I mean the mushrooms, pumpkins and melons looking very similar to the main game. Yeah, all of this looks good. You know, you've got all the different dyes here, which is nice, and they all look very similar. This texture pack was made very similar, so thank you, Jake, for suggesting this texture pack. It's different from the last one. Yeah, I do like all of these items. That flint is quite nice too. Yeah, and the wheat is very nice, very fine. The golden nugget is quite cool too. The egg is so fat, it's funny. You know, and I'm not offending the texture pack here, but it looks really cool. I like it. Anyway, yeah. So back to here then. Now we have all the different houses again. So last episode, we only had 2 votes for a house, although we didn't have very long to vote for. So when we're not going to declare a winner for last episode because we didn't have enough votes. It was a tie because only 2 people voted, me and Jake. Jake said the jungle house looked great. I said the spruce house looked better. So it's a tie. So this episode, I want you guys to all suggest which house you think looks best again, and then hopefully we can declare a winner after that. So I'm just gonna. Ooh, I'm not gonna tell you what I voted for. You have to look in the comments for that. Please guys comment, and if you want to suggest another texture pack, it'd be great because I want texture packs that you want. If not, I'll just texture packs on my own, but of my own deciding. But yeah. So anyway, please tell me which one of these houses looks best. Sorry, this video was posted on Wednesday instead of Tuesday. That stuff happened, and I had a friend round. So I'll see you guys next time for next texture pack review. So make sure to leave what texture pack you want to do and which house you think looks better. And I've been Jacob, and thanks for watching, and bye.